Hello, YouTubers. I'm Angela Logan, and this is Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me on this Sunday, December 1st, 2019. Warm greetings from the High 10. Thank you, thank you. Want to bring you an update on the R. Kelly saga, and it reads as follows. This information I'm bringing you is from Complex Magazine, so if you need verification for this, you will be getting this from Complex. The Blast will be mentioned, and also TNZ. Okay, right now the Savages, Jocelyn Savage's parents, are trying to. They're doing a cease and desist letter, which was obtained by TMZ, and it is an accusation against Miss Tasha K, who is also a blogger here on YouTube, and they are filing a claim against her for unwarranted and defamatory attacks. And saying that they have been using illicit drugs, and it's just a big mess right now going on. And also that she claimed that they were using that they set up a fake account in their daughter's name on social media, and that they were setting up that account to profit from their daughter, and also something about a black box audio recordings, releasing edited recorded statements, appearing, and that they appeared on the Good Morning America show in New York City. And they're basically saying that Tasha accused them of the fake Patreon account that was on Instagram that has not been verified by the Patreon people or anyone in the media. And this is the latest shenanigans going on with the Savages and Miss Tasha K. I don't know what will become of the said defamation suit. I guess they're filing a claim or desist. Well, it was basically said a cease and desist letter. So we'll see what comes of that. But I guess they're angry with her because she's made accusations against them as far as drug abuse and setting up this account and defaming their name. Okay, now, most of you have probably heard, for some of you who are interested in the storyline, the account that was set up by Miss Jocelyn Savage through the Patreon account has been shut down. The money from the company has been refunded to all subscription holders, and the owner did not receive any funds. They shut the account down because they could not verify the owner of the account. So that account through Patreon has been shut down. Just letting you guys know that. Okay. Now, the next information I want to bring you is about the sexual assault that is claimed through that account that was up at one time, but as I said, just been taken down. Miss Jocelyn Savage basically had gave information. We do not know if this was her or not. As I've always said to you all, she could have gladly came forward and told people it was her or not, but as I speak to you, I have had no confirmation that she has spoken about the account, which is now shut down. But in that account, information came out that she said she was sexually assaulted on her first meet with Mr. Kelly in 2015, and we are also told that the parents have evidence to prove that, I guess, an assault took place, and the feds naturally are investigating this case, and they flew to ATL to meet the Savages. They gave digital records, digital records, old emails, texts, and conversation between a ex-assistant by the name of Cheryl Mack, who was obviously a negotiator that was working for Mr. Kelly at the time. And they said that Mack allegedly set up a meeting in Oklahoma in 2015 with R. Kelly and Savage, and also in the same year a meeting in Palm Springs. And another incident was in May of 2015. They also have receipts to show flight bookings in May of 2015, and this Miss Cheryl Mack, left working for Mr. Kelly in July of 2015. So last records, I guess, show 2015 in May that they had records to show that the daughter flew out and met Mr. Kelly, and then the lady, Miss Mack, left in July of 2015. A whole lot going on. Okay, now naturally they're saying that this Palm Springs meeting led to Savage moving in with Mr. Kelly permanently, and this was out without the consent and knowledge of her parents. And at this time, she was 19 years old and had been living with them ever since that age, up until now, leaving the premises with him. His attorney, Mr. Steve Greenberg, is not addressing any rumors at this time, and that he says he is only sticking to factual information given. Okay, some friends told the Blast that I guess Miss Savage told them that he did sexually assault her. And so others are starting to speak out as well. Okay, want to make sure I got all of that given to you. So the Savages are having an issue with Miss Tasha K. A cease and desist letter has been given, I guess, for her to stop making allegations against them. I guess we kind of knew things were going to get worse once she started giving her commentary about whatever was transpiring with them and the daughter or whatever in the commentary. And as you see, it's only gotten worse. And I don't know what's going to be the outcome, but hopefully she'll still be around the YouTube family. It won't cause any problems, and maybe everyone will go their own merry way. So I want to give you another update from the complex. And it says, R. Kelly's girlfriend, Jocelyn Savage, alleged singer, sexually assaulted her the first time they met. This is an update from a previous article that was dated March 15, 2019. Okay, an insider close to R. Kelly's assistant, Cheryl Mack, has alleged that Jocelyn Savage's mother went with her daughter to see Kelly in 2015, TMZ reports. According to the source, Mack hasn't worked with Kelly since July 2015, as I stated before, and the two haven't had any contact since then. Previously, it was revealed that Kelly purportedly compelled Savage to lie to the cops about their relationship, and Savage's family thinks they have the evidence to prove that. According to TMZ, feds investigating Kelly's sex trafficking probe flew to Atlanta last week to meet with the Savages. The family handed over the evidence, which included, as I stated, the digital records from Kelly and his employees, the text, emails, and said information. Earlier, we reported that Mack allegedly set up a meeting between Savage and Kelly in Oklahoma in 2015. Sources say that the evidence also shows that Mack arranged for Savage to meet Kelly in Palm Springs, which I had already told you all about that. Now, R. Kelly's girlfriend, Jocelyn Savage, told friends that the singer sexually assaulted her the first time they met, and now her friends have brought the story to federal investigators, the Blast reports. Sources tell the outlet that Savage was flown out to Tulsa, Oklahoma to meet with Kelly in 2015. Though she was an adult back then, she was an eager singer and was given the opportunity to perform for Kelly during a private meeting. Kelly's former employee Cheryl Mack, purchased a flight for Savage, which Kelly paid for. According to the Blast, Savage met with Kelly in a hotel room in Oklahoma and sang for him. She was made to undress to her underwear and walk around the room. Kelly then came on to her. Savage told her voice coach and the woman's son about the incident later on, detailing how Kelly forced her onto the bed and assaulted her. However, she didn't want to tell authorities about the attack. The voice coach and her son eventually told Savage's family what happened. The family attempted an intervention to persuade Savage to stop talking to Kelly. It didn't work, and Savage soon entered into a relationship with the singer. The Blast reports that the two friends spoke with federal investigators this week and supplied evidence that corroborated Savage's story. One piece of evidence is an audio recording of a phone call between Savage and the voice coach, where Savage explains the control Kelly had taken over her life, the outlet writes. The coach also had a recording of a three-way call between herself, Savage, and Kelly, where Kelly assesses the girl's singing abilities and her career. The Savage family has handed over copies of the plane tickets that Mack allegedly bought to authorities. During this interview with Gayle King on March 6, Kelly denied allegations that he's taken advantage Savage by feigning interest in her career and said they met because she was a fan. Savage's family wanted to press criminal charges for the alleged sexual assault that took place in Tulsa, but since Savage was the only witness and has made it apparent she won't assist in the investigation, the family can't pursue the charges. Still, the evidence provided by the voice coach and her son will help bolster the case against Kelly and strengthen criminal indictment. According to the Associated Press, Cook County Associate Judge Lawrence Flood has ruled cameras will be allowed in the court, starting with R. Kelly's hearing on March 22nd, adding that the disgraced singer's accusers cannot be photographed or filmed without consent. Two of his accusers have made it clear they do not want to be photographed or filmed during the hearings, and that is the said information coming from the complex. And I had something else I wanted to read. Well, it just goes on and on, all this information. But this is about Miss Azriel Clary, because she has given a statement here on November 28th, which would have been Thanksgiving. She's basically saying, that she knows that a lot of folks do not like Mr. Kelly, but he is special to her. She has it's a terrible feeling being without him, and she wouldn't wish this on anyone. And she basically makes a comment saying, I'm not just any girlfriend of his. I refuse to do any and every interview for a check. And she's really not happy right now at the moment. And some people feel like that was throwing shade at Miss Jocelyn for joining on this Patreon account, if it was actually her. So the same article states that Jocelyn said that R. Kelly only paid attention to her when the cameras were around and when they were out in public, and that he assaulted her on numerous occasions, forced her to have an abortion, and he mistreated her. She got pregnant in late 2016 by this monster, she claimed, and how could he proclaim to love her and then mistreat her? Let's see. The blast also states that when the claim was made, how could he keep me locked up, like a damn animal, like some damn animals, what she stated, and that he forced her to have an abortion at his home for the fear of the information leaking out to the public. The blast says R. Kelly accuses Miss Savage of leaving him because his money ran out. Now, his team says he is broke, but court documents say he is hiding hundreds of thousands of dollars in music royalty, and the payments have been redirected to a childhood's bank account. And that is the latest update on Mr. R. Kelly and the ladies who lived with Mr. Kelly. As far as I know, Miss Savage is not at the Trump Tower. I haven't heard really what's going on with the apartment and the said belongings of that apartment and the lease and everything. But as you see, court documents are stating that he does have funds, or royalties anyway, and that they have been redirected to a childhood friend. But see, my problem with that is it has been known that Mr. Kelly cannot read or write, so how will he ever know what he is actually worth at this point if he can't read or write? And would you actually trust someone being over your money when you've had this problem before? Okay, now as far as the ladies, I knew there would be conflict eventually, because I always felt like Azriel was the mouthpiece for Mr. Kelly. And as I stated to you all in my previous video, the fact that he could only get a female visitor or visitor every 90 days, that would be a problem, because then he'd have to choose which one that could visit. And it has been noted that Miss Azriel was the first pick to visit him in federal holding, and Miss Savage's name was not put on the visitors list, which I thought was pretty crummy. And now we're hearing this mess about he only turned on for the cameras, which we don't know if that's truth or not. But as I stated, she could have at any point notified the public that yes, this is my account, or no, it is not me behind the account. So we will see what happens with this shenanigans going on with Mr. Sylvester Kelly. But as I stated in this complex article, he will be attending court March 22nd. and cameras will be allowed in the courtroom. The ladies and witnesses do not have to be filmed if they do not want to. And we will see how this plays out. But I think this is a tragic tale of, yes, a lot of he said, she said. And I don't think he is the best character, Mr. Kelly. I think he has used women. I think he has manipulated women underage, excuse me, and above 18. I think he's a dominant person. I think he's also narcissistic, and he doesn't really care about anyone. And I never felt like he could have genuinely cared about these ladies, because what type of man would have more than one woman living in a home with them, and they're all going about slumbering in this house with this man, having relations with him? How would that work? Now, yes, we've heard of the sister wives syndrome, to each his own, but I never could see this working out. Even when I was hearing about the different women coming and going with the Johns Creek home down in outside of Atlanta, Georgia, I never could see that working. I could never see that working. I figured somebody would get jealous, somebody would have some attitude, and it would be a problem. But as you see, Miss Azrael is still holding on to Mr. Kelly. But I think it's time for everybody to wake up and realize the Pied Piper has played out. It's time to get your little bag, your little duffel bag, and get on in the world and try to salvage some bit of a life. I am Angela Logan, and this is Everyday Shenanigans. Bye-bye.